Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. Social Security is a major issue, especially among retirees out here in Thailand, American retirees specifically. And frankly, it's something we don't deal with very often, candidly, because oftentimes there's no real value added by our firm to be able, to interact with Social Security or anything. But something I thought of recently, because an old friend of mine recently passed away, and there were some issues associated with this person's widow and Social Security and interacting with Social Security. It got me to thinking pretty long and hard about Social Security's presence out here in Thailand. I thought I'd go ahead and quote from the U.S. Embassy in Bangkok's website. And again, this is from th.usembassy.gov. And then quoting directly, the Social Security Administration's Federal Benefits Unit, FBU, in Manila, Philippines, provides a wide range of services for federal benefits. To receive assistance, please contact the FBU via their online inquiry form. You may also contact the FBU by mail, phone, or fax. That information is on the U.S. Embassy website for the consulate here in Bangkok. And this is a question, I remember sitting around ACS, years ago, especially back in the years when USCIS had a local office here. I would be over in ACS a couple of times a week, usually, because I'd be paying filing fees on immigration petitions filed through the local office. And I'd hear this question. It came up all the time. Oh, I'm here, they'd come. It was back in the days when you could essentially you didn't need an appointment. You could just go in during their office hours and talk to somebody at the American Citizen Services Unit. And it was kind of like almost a repetitive track you'd hear in the background when sitting there in the waiting room as somebody saying, hey, we're not the Social Security office. There is a Social Security office in Manila. You can contact them. And it was kind of a routine spiel. I oftentimes wonder if they didn't have almost like a script for answering that question. But I totally, on the one hand, let me be very clear, I have a lot of sympathy for ACS folks. I've watched ACS folks work at the embassy for over 15 years, or about 15 years now, somewhere around there. And boy, that is a job. It's pretty darn thankless, it looks to me. And for those in the comments who are going to burn me as being a shill for the embassy people, whatever, I have watched those folks in action, and that's a tough gig. There are probably DMVs in this world that are easier to work at than ACS Bangkok, and that could probably be said for ACS in other parts of the world too, but I only have primary experience dealing with ACS here in Bangkok or some of the other embassies close by in this region. Long story short, and again, the thrust of this video is, why doesn't Bangkok just have even a minimal Social Security office? I'm really starting to wonder, especially where, the U.S. Embassy Bangkok is, I believe, the largest embassy on earth at this point. I mean, they have liaison officers from virtually every government department, in the United States. And then, as we discussed, and I'm getting into in another video made contemporaneously with this one, they got rid of USCIS. USCIS, that used to be one of the few things that, just an expat could enjoy some benefit from, because you could file your petition for your spouse at that office. That went by the wayside under the last administration, for good or ill, not getting political. It just did. In my opinion, that was a major service that was lost to the American community here in Thailand. Putting that aside, and I'm well aware, because I remember talking to personnel at the USCIS office, they were not thrilled about going anywhere. They preferred to have a field office here, but the last administration made a decision that went the other way. Okay, but another question, honestly, really there can't be, like a walk-up window for Social Security in Thailand? I mean, there's a lot of Americans here, a lot of retirees, veterans, a lot of folks here in Thailand who could use that benefit. And I just find it kind of odd that at present, the closest place to deal with one's Social Security stuff is in Manila. And it also kind of dovetails in with this overarching theme of trying to put, the government especially, trying to put everything on websites and sort of stand up a website so they don't have to, seemingly so they don't have to deal with anybody. And again, I find that really problematic. I find it very odd that you can't just talk to somebody about some pretty nettlesome stuff. And I do get it. I've seen over the years, watching bureaucracies, you'll have somebody just sort of walk up to a window and say, hey, I want to do X, Y, Z. And the response is, well, there's umpteen million papers associated with that. You're sort of coming to me expecting me to do it. That's not their function. But it would be nice, in my opinion. I think it would be not only a major benefit to expats here in Bangkok and Thailand, not only that, but also to have a Social Security office on the Southeast Asian mainland even that could assist in servicing, for example, Americans in Malaysia, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Myanmar for that matter. You know, I get Philippines as sort of a regional hub for these Social Security issues, but I just think it might not be a terrible idea to have another office, like if nothing else, maybe just a little branch office with just one or two people working there, if nothing else, to provide Q&A for people that can get into some issues involving their Social Security that don't have ready answers.